Hi everyone.
Hey Taryn, welcome to Frog Hollow.
Thank you. We are going to talk about plums. Right here, I'll show you a few on the tree, are some Santa Rosa plums. They might not be quite ready to eat like this one is,
Yep.
but we are going to learn a little bit because we're going to start getting some Santa Rosa plums. So we want to hear, if you don't mind, Al, will you tell us a little bit about Santa Rosas?
Yeah, Santa Rosa is the classic plum of California. It was developed 100 years ago or more by Luther Burbank in Santa Rosa, California. And for decades, Taryn, it was the most widely planted plum in the world, I think. Its origins go back to Asia, well, like all stone fruit do. But California has proven to be probably one of the world's great stone fruit growing regions because of we have this hot, dry summer weather and kind of mild temperatures. We have cold enough temperatures in the winter to get the chill hours that are required to set fruit, but nevertheless, this is the climate here in California is perfect for stone fruit, and Santa Rosa is one of the classics.
So you all may know, just like all the other fruits we talk about, there are tens, hundreds of different varieties. So there are hundreds of different types of plums, let alone starting to talk about pluots.
Yeah.
But when we talk about plums, number one, how many different varieties of plums do you grow?
Well, we actually have only two varieties of plums, true plum. One of them is the Santa Rosa, of course, and the other one is the Emerald Butte, which comes at the end of the season.
Oh my God, I'm so excited for those.
And in between, we have pluots, which are a cross or a hybrid between a plum and an apricot.
So we'll wait to talk about pluots because we'll do another video, and very excited about that as well. But for now, let's talk about why you're growing, if you only grow two plums, why the Santa Rosa, and just a little bit about like what an eater can expect from a Santa Rosa.
Well, for me, the Santa Rosa is still one of the most amazing fruits that we grow here at Frog Hollow Farm, and they're not grown very widely by anybody anymore because they're hard to handle. If you let them get ripe on the tree, which we do, and you pick them a little bit too ripe, then they're going to get soft and mushy before they can get to the kitchen table. So you have to pick them right at that edge of ripeness, which is what my crew is trained to do. But if you pick those Santa Rosas at the right moment off the tree, you're going to be rewarded by great flavor, great texture, and outrageous juiciness.
So a little bit more on that. Santa Rosas have a skin that is known to be pretty tart. So it's kind of like a sweet tart flavor because when they're ripe, the sugar in the flesh and the juice is phenomenal. But you get that strongly acidic skin, and it's not only makes a great flavor profile to have the combination of sweet and tart, but it's very good for us. It's good for digestion. It's good for our flavor, our taste buds to be able to keep learning basically how to take tart flavors in. And then I just have to point out the juiciness piece because it's actually, you can have a lot of fun when you get a ripe Santa Rosa. You heard it from me, be warned, don't wear your best clothes.
Wear a bib.
Wear a bib because that thing will pop all over you and it can just like spray out all around. So I hope you get the experience of one of those really juicy plums. What else do we want to talk about when it comes to plums? I want to show you all, do you know how to know if it's ripe? Because Al was talking about you want to get it ripe so you get the sweetness, but you don't want it to be mushy. So here's how you tell. This side, the stem side, this is called the stem bowl. Now for any stone fruit, so peaches, nectarines, apricots, what you want is that right on this ridge, if you press, and it's fairly firm, you want to wait. If you press and you give a little bit of pressure and it will dent, that's when you know that it's ripe. Yep. At the same time, you want the outside to be nice and firm. We don't want to be poking the outside all the time. But when you find that balance where it gives around the shoulders here and it's still really firm, that means it's going to be perfectly succulent, not mealy, but ready to eat. And the sugars will be developed before it's pulled off the tree. They will not continue to develop, even though the acid may diminish.
Yep.
So it might feel a little bit sweeter, taste a little sweeter just because it's got less acid, but the sugars themselves are going to stop developing when they're picked. So we're really fortunate to have a grower partner like Al that invests the time to pick the trees multiple times.
Right.
So the fruit is left on the tree, and that means maximum sugar, and that means maximum deliciousness and enjoyment for us. So thank you so much, Al.
You're welcome, Taryn.
All right, go eat some plums.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.